Hi, the purpose of this video is to take a look at normal distribution within a data set. And typically we want our data sets to be normally distributed, specifically the dependent variables. In any case, the easiest way to determine if for example, the salary data set here is normally distributed is to take a look at the descriptive statistics, and you'll see a figure called, a number called kurtosis, and then a number called skewness. So when you think about a normally distributed graph, it looks like a bell shape. So kurtosis is the extent to which the bell actually is higher, so it's leptokurtic, or flatter, that's platykurtic. Or the skewness really refers to is the tail of the distribution on the bell shape. If it's positive, the tail goes off to the right, so you have more more data points on the left side. If it's negatively skewed, then the bell shape, the tail goes off to the left, which means there are more data points on the right side. So what we're looking for is figures that are between plus and minus 1. If our data points here on kurtosis and skewness are between plus and minus 1, then that's a good indication of normally distributed data. There are other ways of taking a look at this. There's a way of looking at the shape of the bell, and we do this by looking at we need the average and the standard deviation. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to put this data set in order. So Control Shift down arrow. I'm going to go over to Sort and Filter and go from smallest to largest. I'll expand the selection. And then to do the normal distribution, we do equal NOR, and then it's right at the top there. Double click on norm.dist. And what we see here is we need the X, the mean, standard deviation, and whether or not it's cumulative. So the X would be this salary, comma. The mean would be this figure here, comma. The standard deviation would be this figure here. And then we will choose false. Close parentheses. Now, if we did this, now what we're going to do is drag this down, but to do so, it's going to continue to move the mean and the standard deviation down. So we need to make sure that we fix these two numbers, and we do that by adding a $sign in front of the H and $sign in front of the 3. That means stick to the H and stick to the third row, the H column and the third row. We also need to do the same thing for the H and the 7 here. That means stick to the H column and stay right there at the H at the 7th row. Hit enter, and then all we need to do is grab the tail here, left click, and then we can drag it on down. And this will fill in all of the values here. Okay. The next thing that we do is we highlight both the salary and normal distribution figures. And then we simply do a scatter plot. So insert, and then we want to take a look at with smooth lines. Yes, scatter with smooth lines. And this is basically the shape of our of our normal distribution. You see the skewness here is positive 0.3, so we have a little bit more out to the right. The tail goes out to the right a little bit more, so we have more data points to the left. And the kurtosis, we can't really tell here. It looks kind of normal, but it would be a little bit flatter. If it was a perfect bell shape, both of these figures would be exactly 0. Okay, hopefully that's helpful to you, and blessings.